I don't need you to tell me how fucking good my coffee is, okay? I'm the one who buys it. I know how good it is. I buy the gourmet expensive stuff because when I drink it, I want to taste it. But you know what's on my mind right now? It ain't the coffee in my kitchen. It's the Nice Guys on Business podcast. Need an education on how to grow your business? The Nice Guys are here to help. Learn about great customer service, networking, and how just being nice can help you prosper. Now, here are your hosts, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
Hey, Nice Guy community, welcome back. I am back from Las Vegas, and I apparently survived. Although that's not necessarily true.
I'm looking. You sent me a dinosaur. You sent me a dinosaur riding a Segway in Las Vegas.
A dinosaur riding a Segway in Las Vegas, in the middle of Fremont Street right now. Yes, we're going to have to post that one on the Nice Guys page. You'll have to join our Facebook community if you want to see a picture of a dinosaur handing out flyers on a Segway in the middle of Fremont Street. It's very entertaining. That would be niceshortcut.com.
Niceshortcut.com. How do people even think? About? Okay, what's the benefit? All right, let's talk about this. I have a restaurant and I want to promote it. Let's see what would be the best way to do it. Let's do a dinosaur. Okay, that's okay. You be the other guy. All right,
well, I gotta go see what he's giving out. I mean, he's giving flyers out, but it could be for like a dinosaur museum. I don't know. Maybe it's a costume museum. I doubt it. A Segway, a seller. I have no idea.
Let's just play it like it's a restaurant. All right, let's just play the role playing here. Okay. So, hey, Strick. We just opened up this restaurant last month, and I have a really, really good marketing idea. Something that will definitely be different than what most people are doing. You want me to? Can I fill you in?
Yeah, different. Yeah, okay. I like different.
So I'm thinking, all right, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Okay, envision this. Tyrannosaurus Rex like standing right on Fremont Street, dude, and with like flyers in the hands. And the flyers are shaped like dinosaur eggs. What do you think? You think this is a good idea?
A dinosaur on a Segway.
I haven't gotten to the Segway part yet. So I was thinking maybe the T-Rex with dinosaur egg flyers, and let's mobilize them. What do you think the best way to mobilize them would be?
I have no idea, Doug. A Segway?
Yeah, let's put them on a Segway. What the fuck is that?
I just don't even know how to comment on that. I don't know what to say. By the way, we haven't introduced ourselves. My name is Strickland Bonner. On the other side of the mic is Mr. Doug Sandler. Just in case this is your first time listening.
Oh my gosh. And just in case, this is the Tuesday show. So if you really want to hear really great content, go to Monday or Friday.
No, this is really great content. This is really entertaining content. And you know why? Because we today are fulfilling our promise statement, which is to provide a learning experience that is entertaining and adds value to your life. Although, you know what? We may be stretching the learning experience part today.
Well, what about the adding value to your life part too?
Well, I'm hoping that entertainment adds value to people's lives.
Well, that's true. That's very true. It's very true.
I hope.
I've heard. Well, I can tell you for sure that we added value to at least a few listeners' lives because Tim went on the Whole 30 program as a result of listening. Tim Hill, as a result of listening to the program, he went on. Now I don't know. He could be dead in a ditch somewhere right now, dying of starvation.
No, I think he just posted on our Facebook page a couple days ago. But he actually finished it, didn't he? Because you didn't, did you this time?
No, I failed. I failed. I did fail, but at least if I was going to fail well, I failed in the right spot. I did not exactly make it to 30 days, but I made it to somewhere around 20, I would say. I don't know exactly the day that I gave up. I didn't really give up. I purposely ambushed myself. I did not fall into a piece of chocolate cake. But I did fall into a beer that Sean Carpenter said that I really should drink.
So this is sort of a do as I say, not as I do.
Well, I really did. I didn't want people to. And now that Tim's Whole 30 season is probably over as of the airing of this, I feel a little bit better about it. I was trying to hold back on sharing with him that I gaffed on it. But we are all human beings, Strickland Bonner, and I was doing it to support my wife, and I love my wife dearly, but she had enough. and since Sean Carpenter, he was here, and as soon as he got, I had full plans to continue. The guys, Sean and Casey, arrived. I picked them up at the airport at the same time. First question they asked me is like, "Where are we going to get something to drink?" So I really felt
obligated.
I don't know.
You felt
I met
sense.
a moment of weakness. I met a moment of weakness.
It makes sense. So the reason that I'm looking at a dinosaur is I am in Las Vegas still. And, of course, the comment I made at the top of the show was that I survived it. I mean, technically I'm not back yet. But if this is airing, then I guess I am back because I couldn't have published it unless I made it back okay, even though I'm recording this on Friday. And it's beautiful.
Follow the bouncing balls, everybody.
Yeah, it's very complicated. I understand. It's that whole time travel thing. But yeah, so I am actually staying downtown for the first half of this trip, and then I'm going down to Mandalay Bay for the second half of the trip. It's very fun. I've never stayed downtown before. It's very old school. I'm staying at the Golden Gate, which is the oldest hotel in Las Vegas. It's been around since 1906.
Oh, my gosh.
They have added air conditioning since it was built, so that's a good thing.
Can I tell you, though, at the Mandalay Bay where you're going?
Yeah.
So in maybe it was 2001, somewhere around 2001. So for the past 13 or 14 years, 15 years actually at this point, for the past 15 years, as a result of me going in the pool at the Mandalay Bay, which is at the top end of the Vegas. What is that called? Not the
south
is
end
it the
of
Strip?
The Strip? Yeah, south end of the Strip.
South end of the Strip. As a result of me going into the pool 15 fateful years ago, I've made somewhere in the area of I've lost count, but it was somewhere in the area of about $3 million.
Really? You're doing better than I thought.
Yes, I did not. I did not drown in the pool, so I did not have to sue anyone. It was a swim that I took with your friend and mine, Robert Sherman. And over the years, I've calculated that's probably about how much money I've made as a result of having a relationship with the agency.
That's crazy. That's very crazy. So it's a good
but
thing.
The more important question to ask me is how much money of the $3 million that I made did I actually save?
Yeah, I don't think I want to know that answer.
I'm looking at my wallet right now, and I have $160 left over. So I would say that's a pretty excellent. It's been a good ride, but I spent it all.
Okay. Then,
okay.
Well,
anyway.
that was good.
I just wanted to share that with you. So how is the old school part of Las Vegas?
Las Vegas is good. It's very nice. I really like Fremont Street. It is definitely going through a reboot, a resurgence, and it's becoming a little more hip and fun. And it's definitely it is a lot of fun. I like it.
Do they still have
tomorrow's show? We're going to talk about the Heart Attack Grill. So that's a little preview.
Oh, what's the Heart Attack Grill? I don't even know what that is.
You have to tune in tomorrow and find out.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds good. You don't have to give me any hints. I will be tuning in tomorrow to listen to what the show is all about.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about honesty in advertising.
Oh, geez. Today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
On tomorrow's show?
Yeah,
all right, I'm into it.
Today we're going to talk about your trip to Florida to see your in-laws, right?
Yeah, interestingly enough. So I haven't seen my in-laws, my ex-in-laws, for about, I don't know. I'd say I got divorced about 5 years. We were separated about 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I haven't really had a chance to really see my ex-in-laws. And, when you marry into a family, you marry everybody that's in the family, right?
Right.
So when I got divorced, and it was an amicable divorce, and my ex and I we still get along, and we actually probably get along better now than we did when we were married. I mean, we have conversations, and that's great, and we have 2 children together, and we both love our kids. And I've never, over the last since we separated, I've never said even a negative word about her to my kids, and I really don't have anything negative to say other than it cost me a lot of money to be divorced. So, but I hadn't really had a chance to see or talk to my in-laws in all this time. So everybody's getting a little older, and I really wanted to spend a little bit of time before it was too late. When people get into their 80s, you never know. They don't have forever.
True.
And so I said, all right, well, I really wanted to go down to, they live in West Palm, or Delray Beach, Florida. So I wanted to go down to Delray. So I called my ex-wife, and I said, hey, do you think it would be a good idea for me to call your parents? She said, yeah, that would be pretty cool. I think they would really like it. So I did call them, and about a month later, I found myself sitting in their living room and having great conversation and catching up with them. And, the life that we live is so much about relationships, everything. Forget business for a second, but just people in general. You are a product of the people that you hang out with. And they're just good people. And I just did not want to have that relationship just completely disappear. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll go down there. And I really had a very good time. I kind of miss them. I mean, I love my new in-laws and they're great, but I'm not looking to. I wasn't looking to replace my old in-laws, and I love my old in-laws and I love my new in-laws. I just, is this anything that's relatable to you at all, or is this something that's just like, what the hell? Why would you even go and do that?
I don't know. It is kind of weird. I would be very curious to ask all of our Funkin fans if anybody has exes. Have they ever gone back to see their ex-in-laws? Because it does seem very unusual to me. I mean, not like really.
Yeah, I get it. It's
describe it. Yeah,
it's like they weren't like my next door neighbor, so I can't like just pop in. I actually had to take a flight.
Right.
Stay in a different house. Just go down. Yeah, that is a
big part of it. You're right. If they lived down the street, or even if they lived in the next town over, you drive an hour to go say hi. Sure, no problem. But like you had to actually plan a flight to Florida just to go see them, which is a little unusual.
It was a little stressful in the idea. But when I got down there, I just totally felt like I was married for 20 years. And I just felt like, okay, this was good. So when I get down there, it's like we picked up where we had completely just left off when I, last saw them. So I'm fixing shit in their house and, they were having some computer problems. So I'm helping them buy a new computer. And speaking of which, so I was in the Apple store.
Oh, God, here we go. You were in the extremely friendly Apple Store. Did you make an appointment before you went in, Doug?
What was very interesting is yes, I did make an appointment. But the first question they ask you when you go in there is, "Do you have an appointment?" I'm like, right. "It's just buy something." And then my ex sister-in-law, who is down there also, who was helping with this purchase as well, said, "As a matter of fact, yes, we have an appointment." So she was very prepared. I was not quite as prepared. I didn't even remember that we should have an appointment to walk into the Apple Store, but we did. It ended up that they had to buy a new computer. Now, I don't necessarily know that 5 years into having an iMac, which is one of their desktop systems or their desktop system, I don't think you should really have to replace it after 5 years, especially spending $1,700 or $1,800. But they were a little bit more quick to make the purchase than I was. I probably would have argued a little bit more, but I don't know. So the trip was successful. I came home. That was good. The other side of it, which is an interesting dynamic, is how would you tell the news to your current wife that you're going to visit your ex-in-laws? Yeah,
not only that you're going to go visit them, but hey, I'm actually getting on a plane. I'm booking a flight. I'm booking a hotel. I'm spending our money to go see my ex-in-laws. I hadn't even thought about that part of the conversation. That would be very interesting.
I did. Just so you know, before I did make the commitment to anybody along the way, I did say to Danielle, I said, this is what I'm thinking. How do you feel?
Uh-huh. And how did she feel?
Yeah. Okay. So what do you think the first question that she would have asked me is? Just that,
why?
Okay. Well, that was a good question. Why? No, her first question is your ex-wife going?
Oh, that
was a good question. It was a valid question.
That is a good question.
I said, no. My wife and I, Danielle, she completely trusts me and I completely trust her. And there is no romantic anything at all that's going on between my ex and myself. No even a chance of that happening. So, but that was a good question, and it was very fair of her to ask, and I did tell her. I said no, she is not going, and I think it made it a lot easier for her knowing that it was just going to be me and my in-laws.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so she was cool with it. And that was interesting. Yeah, so so I had that going for me last week, or actually a couple of weeks ago, as of the air date of this, and it was kind of fun. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. I definitely would love to hear from any of our Funkin fans to chime in and say, "Hey, Doug, that's really, really freaky." Or, "Hey, Doug, that's really very thoughtful of you. I think you're just a good guy." Would love to hear that. Post it on the Facebook page if you can.
What's going on over there? Are you in a restaurant? It sounds like you're getting food or something.
I am in Hennessy's restaurant, which is right down at the end of the Fremont Street experience, and it's getting a little crowded in here. It's funny. I got here about noon and it was totally dead, and now it's like 1 o'clock and it's filling up. It's kind of crazy. I guess everybody's get a late lunch start in Vegas because you're.
What's the tell me what is like the crowd? I haven't spent. The only time I went down to like Fremont was they have a zip line that runs right down the middle of the street. I don't know if it's even still there.
Yeah,
is it still there?
Yeah, the Slotzilla zip. Yeah, zip
Yeah,
line.
Slotzilla.
Yep.
Maybe that's why there was a dinosaur.
Slotzilla zip line. Oh, there you go. That's
Maybe.
probably it exactly.
So
I had not thought of that.
the last time I was there, so I went into a couple of the casinos because gambling is very, very inexpensive. They have like penny slots and they have dollar poker and all sorts of stuff like that. And their liquor is very inexpensive. That's when it's
like $3 blackjack too, which is nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So all that stuff. So that crowd is like a little bit rougher crowd than up at the south side of the Strip.
Well, what's interesting is about 10 years ago, Fremont was trying to go through like a renaissance and rebuild themselves. And then it was definitely a lot of, low rent, a lot of rednecks, a lot of, older people, because it's really, really a lot cheaper here. But now it's really become a mix because it's kind of become a hip thing. Zappos has moved their headquarters downtown. And so it's interesting because there is the group of older, but then it's also a lot of young. It's a really fun mix. I really like the vibe on Fremont. And the thing is, it's not like a 15-minute walk from casino to casino like it is on the Strip. I mean, I love the Strip hotels, but here it's like every hotel, casino, and all the cool bars and everything are like 4 blocks from each other. And it's real blocks. It's not like half a mile long block.
Right. And you don't have to take the tram thing for fear of getting run over by it. Isn't there some crazy statistic like 10 people every day get run over by cars in Las Vegas or something?
Well, it's crazy because the Strip is like 4 lanes each way, right?
Yeah.
And there are sidewalks that go back and forth across the Strip in all directions, all up and down the Strip, right? But people still try to cross the Strip and not even always at an intersection. And it's like, you just don't do that. Don't be stupid. Don't cross against the light. I mean, I know that when it's like 1 lane each way and you look both ways and there's no traffic coming and the light's not with you, you go, don't do that on the Strip. And people still do it anyway because they're stupid, they're drunk, whatever.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the statistics. Driver leaves scene after fatally 3-car pile up in Vegas. Woman killed, coroner's ID, woman in hit and run near convention center, pedestrian killed. I mean, these are all like within the last. Pedestrian dies after being hit by a car. 2 killed, 1 arrested, and I can only imagine how many DUIs go on there.
Well, because that's the other thing. It's not only is it that the people are stupid because they're tourists here and they do things they shouldn't do, but also people who are driving. They're driving a lot of times. They're driving rental cars. They're here partying. They're drinking and driving. That they're not familiar with the streets. They're looking at the GPS.
What's the Uber scene like there? Because I have not been there since the confluence of Uber and taxis. I mean, did they get
interesting that you mentioned that because there was a huge backlash against Lyft and Uber when they first tried to come out here because there's so many. Taxis out here are like in New York City. I mean, they're just everywhere, right? And so it's a huge business, but they have come in and now all the hotels have Lyft and Uber pickup spots, because like these hotels are huge, right? So there is a specific spot now where it's like, hey, if you called Uber, this is where you go and it's going to come and pick you up. And I actually took a Lyft from the airport to here. And interesting too, because I went to the spot in the garage where it said Uber and Lyft pickup.
Yeah.
I did Lyft and it said, hey, somebody be there in 6 minutes. Okay, great. There was another guy that was trying to call Uber and it said Uber X and Uber are not available right now. And he's actually coming to me and going, are you waiting on an Uber? Because it says it's not available. And I said, well, no, I did Lyft and I got it really quick. But I'm wondering if they were just so busy because it's Vegas. Like there's more demand than there is supply. I figure no drivers are available. I thought that was
It's crazy that there is, even in spite of the fact that it's gone from just taxi cabs to Uber and Lyft in addition to taxi cabs, you still have a slot where they're not available at all.
No. Here in Vegas, it just so happened, I think, in this particular case, that there were no drivers available. I think that's why they said it's not available, because there was, too many people were needing rides, and there were not enough drivers. So I'm pretty sure that's why his wasn't available.
In that particular case, would you just walk over to the I remember when I used to come into Vegas, and I haven't been into Vegas in many years, but when you came in, you'd have to get in this taxi line, and the taxi line was literally 200 people. Now, it would move very fast, but there's like 25 positions for cabs there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely how it goes.
Same thing, or is it still
still the same thing? And I didn't even go to the taxi line. I just went right to Lyft. I'm like, and from the airport to downtown, which I'm pretty sure, downtown is a little ways away.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
A taxi ride, I think I've done taxi before from near the airport to downtown, and it can be like $40 or something, $35-$40 because it's kind of a long trip, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Lyft was $17.
Oh my gosh! And I can only imagine, because the south side of the Strip is so much closer than downtown, that would even be. I remember spending like $20 just to get from the airport down to like Mandalay Bay or to Wynn or to.
That is about. Yep, that's pretty typical, and I'm sure it's way cheaper to do Lyft. So,
Jeez. Oh my gosh, that's interesting. Yeah, the whole idea of the transportation in Vegas is completely flipped. How about food? You doing any good eating while you're there?
I haven't yet. Oh, actually, you know what's funny? I went to a place last night called shoot, I forget what it was called. It's one of these places that it's a bar that's a little more like foodie, right?
Strippers.
And in fact, I took a picture. I'm gonna take it right here. Hang on. Where the heck is it? Did I delete?
Nice Guy Community. So that's probably code for there was not enough strippers at the club, Doug. So
No. This was, I think it's called Tribute. I'm pretty sure the place is called Tribute. And they had these chicken meatballs that were supposed to be really good, right? I'm like, okay, so I tried the chicken meatballs. They were not really that great. I wasn't impressed. And there weren't that many of them, so I was still kind of hungry. So I'm wandering around to the other bars, and there is a bar about 2 doors down, and there's just no sign out front. It's just like a little, very small, kind of narrow bar.
Yeah.
And there's just a sandwich board outside on the sidewalk that says, slice, beer, $5. That's it. Just big block letters.
So that would be pizza and beer for $5.
Exactly. So I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. I walk in, right? Well, I walk in, and there's Evel Knievel paraphernalia everywhere.
Oh, nice.
Okay? And I'd heard about this on my 500 by Midnight podcast that the Evel Knievel Cafe was opening up. Well, but there's no sign outside. It's just like black and this sandwich board, right? So I walk in, and obviously this is Evel Knievel Cafe because it's like all kinds of like lunch boxes from the 70s and like pictures of him all over the place, right? So I catch the bartender's eye, and she looks at me. She's like, "What do you want?" And I said, "Slice, beer, $5." And she's like, and she says, "Yep, is that what you want?" And I said, "Yep." She says, $5. I pull out $5 and I hand it to her, and she walks away, and she comes back with a beer. And I'm like, oh, so I guess for $5 I don't get to choose what beer I want. She goes, nope. And I said, I guess that means I don't get to choose what kind of pizza I get either. And she turns around and walks away while she's saying, nope. Now,
so
what was really interesting?
Oh, go ahead. Oh, you weren't done. Go ahead.
Pizza was really good.
Okay.
I thought it would be like shitty bar pizza, right? It was actually really good pizza. And I went to the website and found out that it's actually called Evil Pie. So really, it's not like an Evel Knievel bar. It's like an Evel Knievel themed pizza place with beer that's kind of like a bar too. And they have an Evel Knievel pinball machine. I took a picture of that, and
so
I'll
I
put
guess
that up.
the question is, do they have, aside from pizza and beer, do they have anything else?
Well, yeah, it's a bar. I mean, I know they say they're a pizza place. It looks like a bar, but it was very interesting. And they'd only been open a week, so that's why they didn't have a sign up yet. They're still working on that.
Okay. Well, so what was the reason that you made the transition you go from downtown to uptown? Do you just wanted a little change in scenery, or
yeah, that was it. I've got some friends that I'm meeting later in the week, but they're not going to get here till Saturday and Sunday, and so I thought I'm going to get there early. I came in on Thursday and Friday, and I thought, you know what? I never have stayed downtown. I'm here by myself for 2 days, and I want to check out downtown. Yeah. So I did, and it's really cool. I mean, I've stopped by before. Like, I've seen the Fremont Street Experience and wandered around like for a couple of hours, but I've never stayed overnight, and I really, really like it. It's fun.
You should go to what's it called? Pawn War, where they do the shooting of Pawn Wars. Pawn Wars.
Yeah, Pawn Stars.
Pawn Stars. That's it.
Now I've heard about it. It's basically a pawn shop, right? And they've got all kinds of like show paraphernalia, merch stuff, like T-shirts and other crap that they sell. Other than that, it's just a pawn shop. And apparently, most of the guys from the show are almost never there anymore.
Well, they don't have to be there
anymore. Anyway, but
I watched a few episodes of that show. I actually enjoyed it. I like when you're in Vegas because it gives there's a whole different vibe. I'm kind of feeling like have you gambled at all?
Yeah, I was up at poker. I played poker and won some money last night. Yeah.
So we went to when you were here with Sean and Casey. It was just the three of us. It was just you, me, and Sean. Is that right? We went to what the heck was the name of the what's the name of the casino here in Baltimore?
The
Horseshoe. That's right. We went to the Horseshoe, and you had a couple of go rounds at the on the craps table, and Sean had no idea what the craps tables was all about. I think you gave him a little bit of a lesson on what craps is all about.
Yeah, it was fun, and I actually won some money there too. So I'm doing good at the gambling right now.
You won a couple of bucks. Well, we're ready for you to for you to come home. I know we still have a couple more episodes to cut, but I like when you're away, but I like when you come back too.
Oh, well, I do appreciate that. So this is probably a good place to wrap up the episode because I actually have things to talk about tomorrow. I don't want to get into the subject. It seems like our Tuesday show is like our shoot the shit, hey, what'd you do over the weekend? What's going on in your life show? And then Wednesday, we might actually get into a topic. How's that sound?
That sounds really good. And I have some questions about a potential format change. So why don't we tease it there, and we'll have everybody tune in to tomorrow's show. That I think not just you and I should bounce these off of each other, but we should also bounce it off the nice guy community as well.
I love it. We'll get to that tomorrow. And the mystery topic, but I will be talking about the Heart Attack Grill tomorrow.
Excellent. Nice guy community. Never underestimate the power of nice. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the nice guys on business, I'm Steve O'Brien. Well, that's 20 minutes of my life I'll never get back. Oh, is it still on?